Hey, how are ya? Welcome to Mari's Golden Hour. I am coming to you from having zero sleep from the night before. So my apologies ahead of time if I am a little slap happy, or I might slur my words, or get a little tongue-tied or tongue heavy. So that's the reason why. But yeah, I do have a story to share, but I will try to do my best to keep it short. But happy full blood moon, full lunar eclipse. That is happening tonight. It is May 15th, and while I was out this evening running some errands, I happened to look over and see the majority of the eclipse was taking place. And had I not other things to do and wanting to get home at a decent time, I would have hung out to watch the whole transition. But unfortunately, I do not live in a space where I can be out in the moon, although that is the goal and the wish for the next place that I move to. Someplace where I can see all the phases of the moon. That would be very, very cool. Or just have access to the moon viewage of some kind. Okay, I'm babbling. So, I haven't slept because I was busy watching. I was in this marathon that I didn't know I was in, of watching or catching up on the seasons and episodes of A Black Lady Sketch Show, which is awesome. You can catch some of the clips on YouTube, or if you have cable access through that. And I was watching the first season so far of Finding Magic Mike, which actually was very interesting, but I love all things dance anyway. So at first I was going to poo-poo it, but then I gave it a chance. I'm like, you know what? This is actually, it has a lot of heart. I enjoyed watching it. It was entertaining and fun to watch. And I was along for the ride throughout the whole thing. Actually, I haven't finished watching it. I do need to watch the very last episode, which, I don't know, the way that I'm feeling right now, I doubt I'm going to get to it tonight, but some other time. Beep, bop, beep, bop, beep. So let's see. Talked about the moon. I love the moon. It's one of my favorite things to stare at. That and just beautiful images, like whether that's paintings, people, architecture, food. Yeah, I just appreciate all of it. Nature. Anyway, beep bop beep ba doo ba doo boo. So, not sleeping at all. I figured, all right, I'm not going to go to sleep. I still have energy. Let's just take on the day. Things I was going to do early this morning, I couldn't because just time got away from me. So everything just got moved back. Well, not everything. I just skipped some things I should have done and moved on to the next. So I thought, before I start running my errands, let me go grab a cup of coffee at the local Starbucks. And if the line is long, I will go out of my way to this other place and just, do a mobile order. So, lines were long, whether it's inside or outside for Starbucks, and I didn't feel like placing a mobile order for that and waiting around. So I went to a different place that was out of my way. But anyway, went there, allowed for ample time to place the order. So by the time I got there, I maybe had to wait like a minute, or I'd arrive like right on time and I can go inside, pick up my stuff, and head back on out. So I got a cappuccino because I hadn't had coffee, and I enjoy cappuccinos. Although I can't stand it when they fill the cup, and they did it again. So it was just like a regular size cup, like the tall size that you would get at Starbucks. But this is like supposedly like a large, but it really looks regular. And so it was like maybe a little over a quarter of that cup had liquid in it, and the rest of the cup was foam. And I'm like, what in the hell? So I get there, and I see like there's a cup, and I think it's mine, but I don't know because they didn't put the label on it to let me know that it's mine. And I said, hey, I gave them my name, and I was there to pick up a cappuccino and get one of those vegan cookies that I mentioned in the last podcast. And they said, oh, yeah, that's your coffee, and I will get your cookie. But they were just slammed. So I was able to get somebody's attention because I lifted up the cup and it felt extremely light. And I said, can you please just top this? And so this male barista was like I could tell he felt put out because I asked him just to top it with regular coffee. So I don't know if he was put out just because I had him top it or because I just covered up perfectly good cappuccino with coffee, but he was at that machine filling it up for a while. So that lets you know how much air was in this cup. So he filled it, didn't, fill it all the way to the top, but it was a lot more than what I had before. And then still waiting on the cookie, but I went ahead and just grabbed it. And I don't know, I feel like the person at the counter was thinking that I was taking it, but I thought she was the one that said she was going to get it, but she didn't. So I don't know. I just kind of like made that like little, I picked up the cookie, didn't make eye contact, but just lifted it up, made a nod, and just casually walked on out. So I don't know if they thought that I stole it or what, So that happened. I'm annoyed, and I realize that I'm getting annoyed over nothing, but it's just like the service just was not good at all. And granted, yes, they were kind of slammed. There were people waiting around for their orders, or people that were in this very, very tiny space hanging out at the two little tables they have, which personally I would never hang out there, because the place it's not huge. There's not a lot of room there. And so, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to remember what else happened after that. So I get to my car and I'm annoyed, and then, I get this pop-up like, would you like to leave a tip? And I'm like, not really, no. But, I was feeling for them because they're probably like overworked and underpaid. So I'm like, yeah, all right, fine. Let me go ahead and tip something. Didn't really want to, but I was like, when I did tip is when this really cute barista was working with this other guy. Both of them were just like really nice, but the one guy was super smooth and just made me feel all kinds of pretty. And that aside, he was just very smooth and very personable. And like the 2 times I've been in there that he's been working, he just same energy. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, you deserve a tip. So anyway, I was trying to leave a tip and leave like a percentage or an extra dollar amount. So that, let me just leave a percentage. And so I clicked on the thing and I said, oh, you want to use your card? I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. And I press it and it's like, well, which one would you like to use? And it's like, one was like a gift card that has a 0 balance and the other one has money on it. So I was like getting mad that it was asking me which one, because it's obvious, I want the one that has money on it. And so then I tried to press it, and then it was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And I don't know, I was just getting pop-ups, but then nothing happened, and it really wasn't taking anything out. And then I was getting frustrated and annoyed because I'm trying to leave a tip for people that I didn't want to leave a tip, but I wanted to leave a tip. And the technology wasn't letting me. So I was just like getting annoyed and frustrated, and like my anger levels were just skyrocketing. Like it just went from 0 to 60. And I believe just me not sleeping and not eating anything didn't help. And so I was giving myself these unconsciously, I was giving myself mantras to like calm down. I can't even remember what I said, but it was like, do not get upset. It's like just don't get upset. Don't get upset. Don't be mad. Don't be, like just things like that. And I just kept repeating it. And like as if I would be saying that to somebody else, but I was saying it to myself. But I didn't even realize I was saying it out loud and to myself. And I calmed down, and then I headed on my merry way. And moments after that, because, basically first world problems, and I was getting upset over nothing. This is not life or death. It wasn't helping anybody, wasn't hurting anybody. It just benefited nobody for me to be that angry. And so a song came on the radio, and I didn't notice it at first, but then like the beat kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of a bop. And so I was getting into the song. I'm like, oh, I wonder who this is. Because it sounded like it was from the 50s, but I didn't know if it was like a newer song to sound old or an actual older song. And the song was Don't Let It Get You Down, and it's by the Crusaders. And it was just so apropos. I'm like, all right, universe, I see you coming on through with the nice quotables. All right, nice little mood changer on the radio. Go through and go ahead. Yes, universe, do your thing. And so, yeah, from that moment on, I was like, all right, cool. Let's just let that go. So I ran my errands, and that was very fruitful. I was making some returns, and I thought it would just be returns, but then I made some purchases, and I figured, all right, these are investments, and it is my birthday month. So, but I liked the exchange that was going on and the rapport that I had with the sales ladies. So it was very helpful, very good, and hopefully I'll be able to model some cute things later on down the road for you. Beep bop, beep bop, beep. So yeah, I ran errands, came home, and then I got super duper productive and just knocked things out one after the other. And I ate a lot later than I wanted to, but I felt better just for accomplishing all the stuff not all the stuff, but a lot of stuff that I wanted to do today, like the big bulk of things that need to be handled. And there's more to do tomorrow, but at least, I got over the hump, getting over the hill, and it's just enjoying the roller coaster from there. Still haven't slept yet, and I know that when I do, I'm probably going to crash pretty hard and pretty soon. So I'm going to try to wrap this up. But I just want to say that I'm just going to try to maintain this momentum. And I don't know, feels like something is coming. Don't know what, or maybe that's just wishful thinking. Who knows? But I don't know. Feel like something's happening. And then I also just about 20 minutes ago found out that Mercury is in retrograde along with some other planets like Pluto and stuff. I know people don't think Pluto is a planet, but I'm sorry, I'm old school and I was brought up on Pluto being a planet, so I still treat it like one. But yeah, Mercury in retrograde, and I don't know if you believe in any of that stuff or not. I feel like there's some merit to it. I know that I felt the effects of it even when I didn't know a retrograde was happening. When I did find out, looking back on things, it's like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And me just blowing up, going from, because I really, in my car, I just went from 0 to 60 real quick. And just like if I were a cartoon, you'd see the smoke coming out of my ears. And if I had on a hat, the hat would be 2 feet up in the air, being held up by that steam of my anger. And the little sizzle squigglies coming out from all around my head. So, yeah, but I don't know, even though, yeah, Mercury retrograde and whatnot, aside from my mood flare from this morning, I feel pretty all right and pretty chill about the whole thing. So with that, I'm going to maintain this easy, breezy attitude as long as I can, and I'm going to bid you adieu and good night, and enjoy your golden hour. Thanks for hanging out with me.